So this video is going to show you how to complete the pencil sharpener exercise in Onshape, which is really focusing on using the draft or taper extrusion method along with a shell. So anyway, I'm going to come here to put this in a separate window. I'm going to come here and show you what it looks like. This is going to be what your finished pencil sharpener looks like, and the drawing that we're going to use is going to be right here. So I will zoom in so you can see that more closely. So we are going to create a pencil sharpener with these dimensions. I'm going to go back to Onshape and go to a new part studio. So you will have created a part studio or a new document in inches. And since our drawing is really shown from the top, I'm going to create a sketch on the top plane and then give myself a normal view. So first, we're going to draw an ellipse. Always start with your origin so that your part is locked down, and you can just click those two sizes and then come back and dimension it. So the dimensions on the drawing are right here, 1.813 by 0.75. So you can just start typing and it will accept it. And so there you go. You can see we have the right dimensions. And now we simply extrude it. We have a 3D view. And how tall is our pencil sharpener? It is 1.25 right there. Now here, to get it to actually be tapered, I'm going to hit the draft tool, but I actually want it to come down just so that it's still looking like my part did. And it has a 10-degree taper according to our drawing. Now, if yours doesn't look right, if it's tapering in the wrong direction, you can hit this arrow and it'll change whether it's getting bigger or smaller as it extrudes. I want it to get bigger because, as you can see in the drawing, the dimensions that you were given were the smaller side of the pencil sharpener, and then it grows as it goes down. And here's how you know it's the, no, sorry, where is it? 10-degree taper right here from the original sketch. Okay, so I'm just going to hit the green check, and we have our first solid part of the pencil sharpener. Now it's time to put the two different size holes in there. So we're going to start a new sketch up here on the same top plane. And I'm just going to draw the two circles. And these are not equal size. So if you look, there you go, 438 and 313. And I'm going to draw a construction line so that we know how far they need to be and dimension that line. Or you could simply just dimension from the point to the point like I just did there. It's 0.25, and then the dimension you're given is from one circle to the next. And I believe it is 0.53. Let me look. Yes. So those are our two circles. And now what I'm going to do is extrude that. Let me look at my sketch. So it's going to be, they are two different extrusion depths, so we're going to have to do that in two separate extrusions. There's no way to put different extrude depths in the same extrusion. So I'm going to actually say remove so that material is removed from our model. I'm going to close this out because it's assuming we want both of those circles, and I'm just going to instead go and just select one circle. And you can see it's giving you a preview through the part. The depth of this one is 0.75, but again, we need it to taper or have a draft on it. And again, it's 10-degree draft. And you want to just look and make sure that that 10-degree draft is making the part get smaller as it goes instead of larger. And if it doesn't look like it's doing it, then go ahead and hit the opposite direction. Now you can see that there's a smaller preview circle in there. It's hard to see because you don't have a cross-section view on. I can turn a cross-section view on, I guess once I'm not in the extrude menu. Let me see. Here we go, section view. And I'm going to zoom out and make sure I get this plane to cross-section view. Now you can see it's tapering down. So let me leave that view on just so we can reference that. And now you still have this sketch, so I'm going to turn this sketch back on so that we can reference that second circle on there and hit extrude again and just pick that surface to be extruded. We're going to remove material. You might notice as soon as I clicked remove, it switched the direction because it assumed that in order to remove material, you have to go down into the part. I'm going to go ahead and put my draft on, 10 degrees. It may not like that because, well, right now we're tapering in the wrong direction anyway. If I click this, do you see how it gets down to a certain point and then it doesn't even get to the distance we need? But that's okay because that's too far of a depth anyway. If you look at our drawing, the depth of this one is 0.5 as opposed to the last one, which was 7.5. Okay, so now you can see we have two holes. They're being tapered, and we are just about done. The last thing we need to do is make sure that this is a hollowed pencil sharpener, because as you sharpen your pencil, you want your shavings to be able to fall out through the bottom of the hole or through the slot and then out through the bottom of the sharpener itself. So to make it hollow, we use something called the shell command. And what shell does is it gives a consistent wall thickness to the entire part. So I'm going to say, if you look at the drawing, I'll show you, it says somewhere 0.05 shell thickness. So that just means this wall thickness everywhere is 50 thousandths of an inch or 0.050. I'm going to type that in there. Faces to remove means which part do you want to not have a face on it anymore. And we don't want the bottom to have any face on it, so I'm going to click that, and that'll automatically also select this part for us. So now you can see it's giving me a hollow part. The last thing I want to do though, let me turn off now my section view so that you can see what's going on. So you can see it's now hollow on the bottom, but it's not hollow on the bottom of these two cones. So I'm going to come up to the top view and select the bottom circles so that those also get removed. So think of faces to remove is just where do you not want material when you're shelling it. So now if I hit the OK button, you can see my model looks like what it's supposed to. I'm going to turn this sketch off again because we don't want to look at that. I'm also going to turn off my planes. I'm just turning off the visibility of them as well as the origins, just so it looks like a nice pencil sharpener there. And now you can see it looks right. The last thing I would like you to do is change the appearance. So pick a material, or sorry, we're not going to change material. Pick a appearance color. So pick any color you want. Let's say I'll go with a funky magenta of sorts. And then the last thing I would like you to do is assign a material, and that's so that we can check the mask properties. So you can just use the material library. Let's make it an acrylic for now, which is just a plastic of sorts, and leave everything default. And that way, you can do a mask properties check. And I made the mistake of not selecting the actual part itself, and now you can see what the mass is. So on your worksheet, you can give me what the mass is in pounds or kilograms if you, well, no, I guess you were supposed to do this in inches, so keep it in pounds, and then snip an image of all of that. All right, that's it for the pencil sharpener.